Alright everyone, welcome to another Anatomy of a Scam video. At ang pag-uusapan po natin sa video na to ay ang Goku. Now I purposely left this video for last kasi alam ko marami pong nalilito or naguguluhan sa Goku na setup na tinuturo po ni Senior Spyfrat. So in this video, our aim is to try and uncomplicate Goku for all of you para magamit niyo siya moving forward with confidence. Okay? So let's start, no? As always, we'll start by identifying yung parts ng anatomy ng Goku. Unang-una, it's Goku, the sine wave. Okay? I'll show you guys the picture of the sine wave that we're looking for para moving forward, wala tayong confusion as to what it is. After that, we're looking for the breakout from yung Goku. Ang breakout, usually, ang nangyayari dito is it's a breakout from an established bullish pattern like a cup and handle pattern, inverse head and shoulders, etc. Okay? And then, after nung breakout, naghahanap tayo ng precedence pattern. Yung precedence pattern, usually sila yung mga parang triangles, flags, channels, and so on, no? And yung precedence pattern na nagpo-form, madalas, nare-retest nila yung breakout level kung saan tayo nag-breakout from yung Goku, di ba? And or nadi-distort nila yung indicator, meaning gumugulo. Una, akala nyo, okay, nag-breakout na from RSI 50, then we get a pullback, then we get another breakout. Okay? A precedence pattern typically forms after a big pole. So yung pole may be made from one candle or multiple candles. I'll show you guys in a bit, no? But essentially, a straight move up followed by consolidation again from yung mga patterns na napag-usapan na natin before. Wedges, whether that's lower time frame wedges or channels, triangles, and so on. After nun, ang inaabangan natin is yung Goku run, meaning nagkaroon tayo ng breakout from the Goku, then may pole, then may precedence pattern. Once we break out of that precedence pattern, we expect the Goku run. And then finally, may mga pagkakataon. Okay, this is important. Hindi po palagi. Pero may mga pagkakataon na nagsusuper saiyan or potential multi-bagger. These are the instances wherein yung napasok natin from the Goku run, from the precedence pattern, from all of that, ay nagpaparabolic. Kapag nangyayari yon, then it turns yung Goku run into a Super Saiyan which might yield a potential multi-bagger para sa atin. Okay? Now, para lang pong walang confusion, ito po yung itsura ng sine wave na hinahanap natin. Before I go to yung examples, you need to understand na it's not gonna be picture perfect each and every single time. And this is why nakakalito yung Goku. Kasi yung pag-identify pa lang ng kung ano yung sine wave o hindi, minsan nakakalito na. Meaning, I may see it one way and you may see it another. It takes a while to get used to it sa paghanap ng ganitong type of pattern. Ang importanteng tinatandaan natin dito is hindi lang basta-basta sine wave. Naghahanap tayo ng Goku, meaning kailangan natin nung established pattern na pwede nating pagsandalan nung trade idea natin. Okay? So let's go to the first example. Instead of doing quote-unquote live charts, I decided it would be easier to just include the charts dito sa slides natin para lang mas smooth yung flow ng usapan. Okay? So, etong example na to, makikita nyo, if you can see my arrow, no? Ito yung sine wave natin. Okay? Ito yung sine wave natin. But, you need to look at it in terms of may pattern ba tayo na pwedeng sandalan. In this case, essentially, you can either look at this as parang malaking inverse head and shoulders or parang cup na pattern. Diba? Nag-rounded bottom tayo dito prior to price breaking out. yes, meron tayong sine wave. Yun yung una nating iniispatan. Pero kailangan meron siyang kakombo. Hindi pwedeng siya lang. Hindi porket nakakita tayo ng inverted letter S sa Bollinger Bands ay titirahin na natin. Okay? So in this case, nag-breakout tayo from this cup pattern. Okay? Tapos nagkaroon tayo ng precedence pattern, meaning nag-consolidate tayo, nag-channel tayo, di ba? We came back, retested the breakout level, and actually retested yung B bands din or yung SPY bands prior to price moving higher. Now, hindi ko siya nasama sa example natin kasi nung zoom out ko masyadong lumiit, ano? But if you go back and look at this sa SM, you will see na from here, we proceeded to move and grind higher and higher na. Obvious naman kasi dito nakikita nyo 300 pa lang, 200 plus pa lang yung presyo natin sa SM eh. Okay? So we went from a cup, okay, or a rounded bottom, broke out, nag-form tayo nung Goku natin, broke out, parang ito na yung pole mo. You found the precedence pattern, we channeled down. Then when we broke out of that channel, we continued to move higher. Alright? Next example natin is Alco. Kanina, kung napapansin nyo, hindi ko sinama yung RSI. That's because I wanted to show you a bigger picture purely lang nung sine wave. Okay? Dito sa Alco, hindi ko na siya kailangan ituro. Number 1, kasi naituro ko na. Number 2, kasi it's trickier to spot. But here's the sine wave that we were looking for. Diba? Ito siya. Shallow lang from both sides. But essentially, again, we formed a rounded bottom here. Okay? Matagal na consolidation, rounded bottom, until we eventually broke out. Now, ito yung pole natin. Kitang-kita naman in this particular case. Kahit na isang candle lang ang usapan, kitang-kita yung breakout. Tapos, ano yung nangyari? Nagkaroon tayo ng distortion sa indicator. Nagkaroon tayo ng distortion sa RSI. Makikita nyo dito, we broke above RSI 70, pero nung nagko-consolidate tayo, we swiftly close back beneath it. 'Di ba? Nag-breakout tayo, akala natin, uy, eto na. 'Di ba? Parabolic na, pero hindi. We pulled back. Tapos nagkaroon tayo ng essentially a triangle or a tightening consolidation. Alright? It didn't exactly come back doon sa kung saan tayo nag-breakout, but it came very close. Now, what happened next? What happened next was from there, after nung distortion natin, nung indicator, after nung almost pag-pull back where we broke out from, which was around here, diba? Where we broke out from, nag-consolidate tayo, and when we broke out in this candle here, okay, nagsimula na, Goku run, which turned into a parabolic move. So, had you traded this from the breakout, we would have gotten in around 50 plus cents, no? 50 plus cents, umabot tayo ng 1.55. So, multi-bagger tayo. Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na from Goku, we get the breakout, we get the precedence pattern, we get the Goku run, and then in this instance, nag-super saiyan tayo and naging multi-bagger siya. Okay? One more example. Our next example will be EEI. And then I'm doing this example on a daily chart. Alright? So, nagkaroon din tayo ng sine wave. Kitang-kita naman, di ba? Ito yung sine wave natin. Tapos, nagkaroon tayo ng pattern. Essentially, it was an inverse head and shoulders pattern. Okay? Ito yung left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Alright? Tapos, nag-breakout tayo. Ito na, yung pole mo. And then, we pulled back. Pero in this instance, hindi tayo bumalik where we broke out from. Hindi tayo bumalik sa neckline. Diba? Hindi tayo bumalik sa neckline. Nag-breakout na tayo from yung precedence pattern natin from etong bull flag. Nag-conso sandali. Well, actually, sandali ito, no? Medyo may katagalan. Nag-conso tayo and then we started pushing higher. So again, from here, had you entered from the breakout, you would have gotten in around 9.5, 9.6. And nakikita nyo, from here, Rinespect niya tong B-bands natin mostly. And then we pushed higher, umabot siya ng 12.62. And if you look at this, it actually goes a bit higher from there pa. Alright? So, I hope naging mas clear po sa inyo tong Goku based on the examples I gave. Kaya ako rin siya linagay na lang sa slides kasi mahirap kong galawin yung chart habang nagsasalita ako. Nadi-distort agad Nasisira yung pinapakita kong pattern, di ba? Kung nag-zoom in, zoom out ako, mawawala lahat to That's why I wanted still shots nung mga patterns, nung mga examples para mapakita ko sila sa inyo ng as quote-unquote textbook as possible. Now, as an exercise, I highly encourage you to do back tests on these muna. Familiarize your eyes sa pattern. But not just sa pattern. Kailangan masanay kayong tumingin na kapag nabubuo pa lang yung pattern, ay medyo nakikita nyo na. I am not saying na kapag nabubuo pa lang, titirahin nyo na agad. Pero habang nabubuo pa lang, minamatahan nyo na. In that way, nasa watchlist nyo na at nababantayan nyo na ang isang stock habang nagpo-form pa lang yung Goku or yung pattern na hinahanap natin. Para once nagsimula na yung galaw, we are not caught unawares. Kasi sanay na tayo nakabantay na tayo. Diba? So, backtest nyo ng mabuti bago nyo i-trade ng live. Please. More so than anything else that we've discussed during this series, etong Goku, I highly encourage you to backtest it properly before you apply it to any trade moving forward that involves real money. Okay? As I said, it's a little tricky to spot. Okay? Kasi minsan, ang tendency natin, makakita lang tayo nung parang letter S. Okay na yan. Tas pipilitin lang natin na magkaroon ng pattern para mag-suit dun sa needs natin. Wala tayong pakialam kung may pattern ba talaga o wala kasi we tend to reduce ang isang setup to its least common denominator. And in this particular instance, the least common denominator is the sine wave, is the S. But I'm encouraging you to backtest and train your eyes para in the future, kapag itatrade nyo na siya, hindi kayo mag-fall dun sa trap that reduces the setup to its least common denominator. Kaya nyo siyang i-assess ng mabuti bago nyo siya i-trade. Now, sa mga ganitong instances, I am sure may nagtatanong, paano namin i-trail yung stop namin? Now, pag mga ganito, again, I highly encourage na i-apply nyo yung mga tinuro dati ni Sir Petuel na tinuturo din ni Sir Spyfrat. Maybe use an EMA 20 or an EMA 10, EMA 9, whatever, as your trail stop, no? Personally, napapanood nyo ako that I don't use MAs or EMAs, but it doesn't mean na kailangan kayo ganun din. Okay? What I do doesn't necessarily mean that yun lang ang tamang dapat gawin. Mga ganitong naghihintay kayo ng potential long na run, meaning hindi yung swing trade lang, mas position trade yung dating niya. You want to trail your stops accordingly because you are not just aiming for one specific target. You are aiming for a potential move. So iba siya. Kailangan mag-trail stop kayo na maayos. Kayo nang bahala kung anong approach yung gusto nyong gawin. Kasi sa totoo lang, wala namang mas tama or mas mali Diba? Kung gusto nyo mas longer term na MA, that's up to you. Baka mas long term kayo tumingin. More so than everyone else. Kung kunwari, hindi kayo mapalagay, you want to use a shorter term na trail stop, that's on you. You can use a Kijun-sen, you can use a Tenkan-sen. That's completely up to you. Okay? Basta, ang importante, masusundan nyo yung disiplina. Masusundan nyo yung trail stop. Meron kayong rules. Para kung sakali man na mag-move nga siya, sumunod siya sa thesis natin, ay hindi natin maibabalik sa merkado yung karamihan ng kinita natin should things move in our favor. Okay? So guys, as I said, ito po yung last video natin sa Anatomy of a Scam, no? If I get a lot of questions sa mga videos, then I might consider in the future doing a one-off, parang encore video wherein sasagutin ko lang yung mga questions nyo in such a way na para walang ambiguity and mapapaliwanag ko ng husto. Minsan kasi kapag sa comment section lang ako sumasagot, I feel as if kulang yung nape-present ko sa inyo and hindi ako happy. Diba? Syempre gusto ko nasasagot ko kayo ng tama eh. And it's just easier to answer you in the form of a video para in that way, wala akong namimiss. Okay? So kung meron kayong mga tanong, huwag kayong mag-atubili. Tanong lang po kayo ng tanong sa comment section ng kahit na anong Anatomy of a Scam video. And I'll get to them kapag dumami. I promise I'll make another encore video in the future. But for now, maraming salamat po for sticking with both myself and Senior Spyfrat for this series. No? We both hope na marami kayong natutunan from this series. Na sana naging mas malinaw po sa inyo yung mga teachings ni Senior Spyfrat. And if so, personally, pakiusap ko lang, sana i-like nyo yung mga video na to, panoorin nyo po yung Anatomy of a Scam series, share it with your friends, share it with your other traders, and sana subscribe to this channel. And as always guys, maraming salamat po sa panonood. I really appreciate it. Good luck and happy trading!